Today, we are going to pull it all together. We are looking at week 5 of our teacher planner setup that we are doing. And today, I want to show you how to pull it all together, create some special links, and show you some additional pages that I have been working on. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay with me. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And like I said at the top of the video, today we are wrapping up, for now, our teacher planner little mini unit that we've been working on. This is week 5 of that teacher planner. We have covered everything from a monthly spread to a weekly spread to some specialized pages like lesson plans and transportation tracking. We've done all kinds of things. I will leave the teacher playlist linked up above if you would like to take a look at that. But today I really wanted to show you some additional pages that I've been working on and some ways to kind of pull it all together. All right? So if that sounds good to you, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button below. Hit the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Turn those notification bells all the way on so that you don't miss any of our Friday videos. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. I'm very excited to show you the things that I've been working on. Okay, well, you can see here on my screen I have created a dashboard, and the dashboard for my teacher planner, it's kind of like a table of contents or an index, that kind of thing, a quick way to be able to jump to various pages, okay? And what I did is basically what I have done for the past 4 videos. Everything I have set up today is in tables, and you will see right here on the screen there is a 2-column table with bunches and bunches of rows underneath, and then over here I also have a 6-column table with 2 rows containing the months of the year, okay? And it's set up for academic months, so it starts in August and goes through July, okay? Now, the reason that I left this up here for you to see, and I wanted you to see that all of the pages that I'm going to show you today was created with tables. And for the most part, I left the rule lines up for you so that you can see them, you know, the table shading lines so that you can see them, so that you can see how many columns and things they are. But if you would like to take those away, all you need to do is click anywhere in your table, go to your table menu, and hide the borders. So when I click hide borders, all of those lines around my table are going to go away, and I'm simply going to be left with the links. Now, a lot of people like this look. It's a much cleaner look. But again, for today's purposes, I wanted you to know that I was not spacing or tabbing or anything like that. I am using tables. So I'm going to put those borders back so that you can see them. And when you look at all of the pages, if I can remember, I'll show you what they look like with and without the borders. Okay? All right. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I did is I created, you know, my mind, once I started doing these pages, my mind just kept going and I kept thinking of other pages to create. I also got some comments, some DMs about, you know, how about if you create this page? How about if you create that page? So I was doing a lot of that kind of thing. It was really fun for me. So let me show you some of the pages that I created. And I want to show you also how I did these links, okay? Basically what I did is I created a table and I started putting all kinds of pages in here that I thought that I might want to create for this particular planner, okay? And you see that some of them now have links to them. That means that I've created those pages, and some of them are still just black regular text. That means I have not created those pages, okay? But to show you how to get the links, I did create an August monthly page. So you see here that I have the word August here. And if we look all the way over here on our far right hand side, this is the August page that we created together, okay? Again, there's a link to the video about how we created this page together. all right? To get that link to work, all I need to do, there's actually two ways that I can do it. I can go down here and right click and say copy link to page. And once that link is copied, I can go back to my dashboard by using my little back button up here. And I can highlight this text, August, and I can go to my insert menu and click on link. There's also a shortcut for that. You can see it right here, Control K. But remember, I like to show you exactly what we're doing. I don't want to use a lot of short keys because I don't want people to get lost. So we're going to go up here to link and we're going to click on that. And it's going to come up and say the text to display is August and where's the address. Now I could take that address that I copied from that page and I can paste it in there. And you see that whole long address. Or I have a choice of all of my notebooks down here. It's not in any of these notebooks, so I'm simply going to close them, but it is down here in my teacher planner. So I'm going to open that, and all the way down here at the bottom, you can see the August 2024 monthly. I can choose that one, and then I can say OK. And when I say OK, you can see that it is now a link. It is underlined and the text has turned blue, okay? I can click on that and it will take me to my August monthly, all right? And I can go back with my back button. If I want to change the color of this text, I can. If I want to do some color shading, I can. So quickly, I'm just going to, let's color shade this whole thing. And we'll do it in this purple color that I've been using for the background. And let's see if we can change this font color. A different color if I would like. So there's yellow. I can choose, maybe I want a gray color. I can do that. That's very hard to see. Anyway, you get the idea. They don't always have to stay that blue color. Okay, I can even go green if I want. Again, that's very hard to see. And finally, let's go back to black color. That shows up nicely. I can still see the underline. I know that it is a link, okay? And I like that color. It blends nicely with the dark colors that we have on here. All right? So, again, if I click on that link, it takes me to August, okay? Now, I have put the back button up here on my quick access toolbar. There's a video about how to do that if you would like to see that. But there's another thing that I wanted to show you today that I think is kind of cool. It's called, backlinking. So if you jump to a page, you can jump back to the dashboard. So I want to show you how to do that, all right? So I'm going to go over here to my dashboard page, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to say Copy Link to Page. Okay, and now I'm just going to go somewhere on this page and I am going to insert a link. Okay, and the text that I want it to display, well, I don't really want it to say dashboard, although I could type that in if I wanted to. I think I want it to be an emoji of some sort. So let's do that. Let's press the window and the period key, and we will be able to look at all of the different emojis that we have here. Okay, all the different things that we can see. And I could choose any of these, but I am going to type in and search for notebooks, and there I see 3 different notebooks, okay? I think I'm going to choose, not the one with the decorative color, I think I'll go with this one. Okay, and you can see as I'm clicking that, it's coming up here at the top, all right? So I can get rid of that one. And now I can say, well, what do I want it to say? Well, maybe I just want it to be one of these notebooks. So let's get rid of the word dashboard, and I'll give myself a space, and then I'll leave the emoji and a space on the other side, just so I have a little bit bigger area for my cursor to hit. Okay, and then down here under address, I am going to paste that in, and again, I'm going to hit OK. And when I do that, you now see, let me zoom in so you can see it. You see our little notebook. It looks like it's sitting on a shelf. It's sitting on that little blue line that shows us that that is a link, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to copy this, okay? And scroll back out so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go back to that August page, okay? And then out here, pasting on the side, as I always do, I'm going to paste that little emoji, all right? Now, I can find a spot to put it. Maybe I want to be consistent on every page, and maybe I want to put it right up here at the top next to my date, okay? That might work. Now, when I'm on this page and I want to go back to my dashboard, all I have to do is click on that little emoji and it takes me back, okay? So as I'm going about and showing you all the other pages that I created today, I'm going to try to remember to put that little dashboard emoji on there as well so that I can always come back to this particular page, okay? So this page is my dashboard. It's kind of like my table of contents. I want to be able to put links to my monthly pages on here. And again, you can put those however you want. I happen to do a horizontal row. You could also do a vertical row. I have videos about how to do that if you would like. But you know, I just think it's cool that you can really customize these pages and make them exactly what you want, okay? I have seen one person's idea for doing that, and all they wanted was 52 weeks. So they had a great big long row of 26 weeks on the top and 26 weeks on the bottom, and they were simply week numbers, and that's all that they wanted. And they put links in for that, which I think is pretty cool. If you're somebody who, you know, runs your life by the week number, that's a great way to do it, okay? All right, well, enough talking. Let's look at these other pages. First, I have for you school contacts. So on the school contacts page, you can see that I have faculty contacts. And I was thinking about, you know, like on this side, I might put my grade level teachers that I'm teaching with, what their phone numbers are. Maybe I know their address. Maybe I just want to put their room number here, whatever that happens to be, okay? And I have a specialty area over here. Maybe that's for their grade number. You know, maybe they're a third grade teacher like I am. Maybe they're a speech pathologist or a psychiatrist that comes to the school. I might want to know what days they might be available to meet with me if I need to meet with them about a specific student, okay? So I included a space for days available. And that kind of thing. I could also put times available. Maybe they're only in the building on Wednesday afternoons, something like that. So I put 6 contacts here, thinking special area people that I might need to work with, and then, you know, maybe my teammates, okay? So let's go ahead and add that extra emoji. So I'm going to paste that here, grab it, move it, well, you know what? I can put it underneath the time on this page. That works pretty good. And again, this is just tables. You can see 2 column tables that I filled in. If I wanted to get rid of those lines, those borders, click somewhere in the table, go up to table, hide borders, and you can see what it looks like without the borders, okay? I personally happen to like this one with the borders, so I'm going to leave them there. Now, let's try that back button again. Takes me back to the dashboard, okay? All right, let's go across now. I also made a page exactly like the one that you just saw, except this one is for volunteers and substitute contacts. Now, sometimes in some schools, you contact the secretary if you need to get a substitute, and sometimes you have to find your own substitutes. So it's nice to have a list of substitutes who might be willing to teach in your classroom, and also your classroom volunteers that you might have. You know, your party mom, your lady who does the laminating, your field trip dad that wants to organize things for you, that kind of thing, okay? So again, simply did that for volunteer and substitute contacts, all right? All right. Now, moving on, our standard weekly schedule. This one we did together. Again, there's a video on this one, and I showed you that there's a horizontal layout for your weekly schedule, or you could have a vertical layout for your weekly schedule. So I'm not going to talk about this page a lot because we did an entire video on that. Let's just put that little emoji on here for our back button. And remember, as I get close to where I want that to go, I can hold down my Alt key and move it exactly into place where I want it to be. Okay? All right, so that looks good. So we'll go back. Now, routines. I started a page, and I think I showed this in one of the videos, just where you might have, what your morning daily routine is. You have to take attendance if you're at elementary school. You do a lunch count to send to the cafeteria. You might have a morning meeting. Then you log in the homework, whatever your routine happens to be. And then I also left a place for weekly routines, monthly routines, and marking period routines. Okay? All right. So let's put that little emoji there. And there we go. All right. And routines. Then I thought, well, I could do a specials master schedule. And in the school that I taught in, the kids had music on Monday and Wednesday, and they had PE on Tuesday and Thursday. And then Friday they went to art class. That's just the way the schedule worked for us. And then library, we had to schedule and work in on a different time, so it wasn't set in stone. But we also had band and choir that we had to have a schedule for as well. So creating a master specials classes schedule was a great idea. But I haven't gotten around to that one yet. Next one I also haven't done is safety procedures. What do you do for a fire drill? What do you do for a tornado drill? What are your active shooter drill instructions for? What does that look like for you? And so having a place for all of those safety procedures sounds like a good idea to me. Okay? Then I had student and staff birthdays. And again, I created that same, you see here I used the curriculum long-term planning calendar. Again, there's a video on this where we did all of these long-term plannings. So let's change this to birthdays. Okay, and it's great because once you create a page that's very functional, you can use that page over and over for many different things. So here I have student birthdays, and you see I have a little key over here that student birthdays are in pink and staff member birthdays are in green. Okay, all right, let's add that little emoji. Put him right in place. And now we can get back to our dashboard, okay? All right, I would probably create a passwords page, although I don't know, depending on who had access to this planner, I'm not sure. But I know that the students that I used to teach had passwords for when they logged into like the math program that we were using. So I would keep track of all of the students' passwords. So if a kid came up to me and said, Mrs. Reed, I forgot my password for, Math Plus or whatever, I would be able to look that up and give it to them, okay? Also, a student contact information page. I know that one would be very important to be able to contact those parents. I know that, you would have to have a space for both parents and both contacts, who the actual legal guardian is of the student and all of that kind of thing, the way that they like to be contacted, whether it's via text or email or whatever your school procedures are, okay? So I haven't done that one yet, but that is still on the list, all right? Transportation is one that we talked about. Again, it's that same kind of, setup that we did with the 12 boxes, video on that, and that we're using that one over and over, okay? All right, let's go ahead and put our little emoji here. The transportation page is really keeping track of what kids ride the bus, what kids get picked up by car, what kids, go to aftercare, and all of that kind of thing. All right? Okay, so transportation works. Then this one, I really had fun with this one, a field trip planner. I love to take kids on field trips. And when I was a homeschool mom, we went on a field trip every single week, okay? And this kind of form was very helpful for me in organizing those particular field trips. So I'm going to go over this one in a little bit more detail. You can see here that I've done a 2-column table, and I just copied it and put it on this side as well, okay? So I have a place. Let me zoom in for you. I have a place here for the location where you would like to take the field trip to, a website if they have it, a contact name for the location if you have it, phone number, email address, the actual physical address of where the place is, and then the total price that it's going to cost per student, okay? And then I have a section for the date that it's going to happen and a place for the itinerary. What time are you departing? What time are you leaving for the event? What's going to happen when you get there? You know, you can put your times in here for lunch, if you're having a special tour, if the students have some free time, you know, to look around, and then what time are you meeting to return to the school, okay? And then I put a little space down here for notes. And then on this side, like I said, I just copied that table over here and I added what subject area this particular field trip is related to, the topic or the focus for the event. You know, let's say you're going to Mount Vernon and, you know, it's related to social studies and your learning objective is to learn about, you know, what the plantation life of the Mount Vernon plantation of George Washington was like during the colonial time periods, okay? All right, so that's what that kind of area is about. Then there is transportation. Are you going by bus? Do you have to rent a special bus? You know, are parents driving and you're meeting there? How is that working? What's the cost going to be? The contact information, phone number, address, and then a list for any chaperones that you might have, and email and contact information for them. I like to have chaperones' phone numbers so that if we are out and about and kids are spread out all over the zoo or the museum or whatever, if I need to get a hold of a particular parent, I have their phone number to do that, okay? And then down here at the bottom, I made a little packing list. You know, what do the students need to take with them? Do they need any special things? Lunch, notebooks, pencils, clipboards, any of those kinds of things, okay? All right. So that one was pretty good, and I think that I know during my homeschool teaching, this form would have gotten a lot of use, and I like that very much, okay? All right, let's go ahead and put our little emoji there for getting back to the dashboard. Right there under the date and the time, and there we go. Okay, so field trip planner was cool. Then in my school, we had book numbers and we had to assign to the kids. So I made a quick book number list. I would type in, instead of student number 1, I would actually put their name in that space, and then the number of their spelling book, reading book, math book, science book, social studies book, and their Chromebook or iPad or whatever else they were assigned to. Okay, very simple. And there we go. And then a couple of other pages that I was thinking about. It would be nice to have a seating chart, you know, so that when the kids are there and the substitute comes in, they're not trying to pull some wool over somebody's eyes. You actually have a seating chart for them. A room layout design, a parent conference log for keeping track of those communications with parents. Conference notes would be important to keep as well. Staff development notes for classes or programs that you were learning about, an ideas page in case you decided, you know, you had this great idea and you didn't want to forget it, you didn't want to lose it somewhere, put it on your ideas page. Checklist pages could be very much like the book number pages. You know, you're just checking off if the students, you know, are in attendance for that day, or if they've done their homework, or, you know, turned in a permission slip, or whatever it happens to be, okay? All right, and then grade pages are similar to checklist pages. That's why I have them next to each other. Unit planners. I did not talk about unit planners yet, but for elementary school, I did a lot of unit planning. So we would have entire week themes where I tried to pull in, you know, the science and the social studies and the literature that we were reading all together to make an active learning unit so that their days were not so fragmented. But I did not get around to making that planner yet. But I will probably work on that because I think that's an important one. And then the lesson plan format, again, we did a video on that one, so I'll show you that one quickly. This is the blank one that we did. Let me go ahead and put that little emoji here before I forget. So that can sit right there, okay? So I have a blank one here. that we did as kind of a template. And then I also have one that we did that's under here. Let's see. Oh, this is a good time. This is a good time to talk about this. You'll see over here on the pages that there's an arrow, okay? And the arrow pointing down means that all of this is open. So we have looked at, in our long-term planning, we've looked at our curriculum, long-term planner, professional development, school calendar, that kind of thing. I can close that and that kind of goes away. So I can close these other pages and have a much cleaner look on the side of pages. But if I want to look what's under that little subsection of pages, I can do that. And so I did a completed lesson plan on supply and demand. That's the one that we talked about in the video. Okay. All right. And if I want, I can even put that little emoji right there. Okay. All right. So you can open or close these little pages as you need to. All right. And then the last one, this is not a page that I created. This is something that I downloaded. I went and looked for some public school calendars that I could download. I found a couple different styles. Here you can see the dashed and dotted lines around them. That just means that they are graphics. Okay. And, you know, just a place to store your school calendar that comes directly from, you know, administration. And let's go ahead and put that there. And we can go back to our dashboard. Okay. All right. So lots of extra pages today to show you and to show you how to do these links and to create these little emoji dashboard links. So that was kind of cool. Usually we think of, you know, using words for our links, but you can also use icons or emojis as well. All right. So now that, you know, we have all of these pages going on, I thought I should do a little bit more organization of my tabs up here. So I went up and I renamed my tabs Long-Term Planner, Student Notes, Contacts, Months, Teacher Planner, and then I started with the subject areas that I would be using. So reading, math, and then I created a new section because I want to show you how to change that name. So if you go up here and click on the new section, okay, you can right click on it and you can rename it. And so let's say I did reading, math, let's do science, okay? And then you can also change the tab color if you want. So for me, science is always blue and math is always green. And reading is usually red. Okay, so I could have all of my theme colors going across the top like that. Okay, all right. And then originally I created all of these pages in my teacher planner, but if I wanted to, I could take, like, let's say those lesson plans that I created, that lesson plan for supply and demand and economics, that actually should go in social studies. So let's say I create a new section and we will call that social studies. I will abbreviate it. Okay, and let's change that color. Might as well do it all at one time, right? And then if I go back to my teacher planner and I want to move these supply and demands into social studies, all I need to do is click on it, hold the mouse down, and I can drag it into social studies. Okay, let me show you that one more time. I can go to, here's an economics lesson plan, click on it and drag it into social studies. Okay, now I have both of them there. Okay, so I can start taking my student things and putting them under student notes, my contact information, you know, these pages that I created for my faculty and my volunteers and stuff, and putting those under contacts, and start getting things a little bit more organized. Okay? All right. Well, it certainly has been fun for me. I didn't have a classroom to set up this year, but it certainly was fun for the month of end of July and into August, getting this teacher notebook ready. Hopefully I've given you guys some ideas that you can use in your classroom. If I have, go ahead and leave me a comment, leave me a note down below, a smiley face, a notebook, something to let me know that you've gotten some ideas from these videos. I sure would appreciate that. And it really does help out my channel. We are a growing channel, and everybody keeps asking me, how come you don't have more subscribers? I don't know. I'm just doing what I'm doing. And, you know, if you're liking this information, you can share it maybe with other teacher friends. And then maybe we will get more subscribers. Okay? All right. Well, we're on to something new in the next video, but I'm not going to let you know what that is. I want you to stay tuned and find out what that's all about. But until then, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.